Hi everybody, welcome back to the lab. Well, today we have a very neat piece of equipment, pretty rare, I would say. This is the very first time that I see in person one. And this is a music center made by Pioneer. The model is M6500. And this is a pretty unique for this line, as it has a built-in turntable, tape deck, radio, and phono stage. So it's pretty correct to call it a music center. Unfortunately, this unit it's pretty beat up, and it's missing knobs. It's missing the tone arm, and the lid it's pretty broken, and I'm not sure that I will be able to remove, but as you can see it's cracked here around this inch, but this will be a matter of small problem relevant to this huge problem of torn arm. Now, the torn arm of this turntable, it's pretty specific for this model and almost impossible to find. But what I think I can do is to use another torn arm made by Pioneer of another turntable like the PL 112, 115, 117, some 514, 516, they could be usable on this. I'm not sure yet, but hopefully I can do it. Another thing that I've seen that I don't think is correct is, sorry for the bump, this screw. I don't think that is original, but I'm not sure about that. It's pretty dirty, and let me flip it around. Very huge. It almost takes half of the bench. We have, this is the back. Not sure that this is original, that this is over the lettering, so not really sure about that. Here we have the aerial connections, this local and distant AM antenna. We have the power selection, the main switch selection, speaker output, and power plug. So all in all, nothing special except that it's pretty unique for Pioneer, this kind of equipment. Despite back in those days was pretty popular, build music centers very cheap. This I don't think was very cheap, but not sure again about that. So the plan is to open before any power attempt. I don't know how is inside, what has been done before, so it's not safe to power it up right now. You have the dial for the tuner, which is pretty nice and very smooth action, as well as all the other potentiometers, very smooth. Don't know why they have removed this. This function actually seems out of the position and pretty stuck. And here we have the power switch. So let's crack it open and see how it's inside. So I have removed this screw. It might be that is original, not really sure, but that is really bad. I have removed the 4 screws that hold the tape deck onto the frame, but I want to remove this cassette that comes with the unit. Don't know, we will try to see if everything will work, what is inside. So I think now I'm able to remove it. Let's see. Okay, let's zoom in onto the plugs so I can have a trace how they were connected. Okay, belt wise seems still usable, at least for a test. Oh, that is pretty sticky. This meter is wobbling. Okay, let's put this aside. Well, as I was suspecting that DIN socket shouldn't be original, I really doubted that it was original. I really hate that power pack, but nothing to do. But this is how it's inside. Let's remove this turntable and see how we can proceed. Well, I want to be crazy here and try to power it up. I have connected through the DIN bulb to 110 volt, but the equipment is set for 220, so we are at half of the voltage plus the DIN bulb. So let's see what it does. Hopefully nothing really bad. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we have a lamp here. One is burnt out. The dim bulb is pretty dim. Nothing on the bulb actually, so not too bad. Let's place onto FM. Nothing here. I see that the meter is moving a bit. And if I move the, oh, look at that. If I move the tuning, the needle is moving. Might it be that it's working? That would be really fantastic. Okay, let's measure what we have onto the speaker terminal. .62 millivolt, and right channel 112 millivolt. It's not really low, but we still are at low voltage, but nothing scaring here. So let's try to bypass the dim bulb. We have a very slightly increase in light of the dial lamp. I think also the meter lamp is faulty. Okay, so let me plug at 220. Okay, we are at full voltage, but still through the dim bulb. 3, 2, 1. Barely visible the in person the dim bulb. Let's measure what we have onto the speaker terminals. 27 millivolt, 28 on left channel, and yeah, around 70 millivolt onto right channel. Let's try to place onto stereo. Here we have very strong stations. We should see some Some station come in stereo. We don't. So let me plug an antenna. Okay, I have plugged a wire and should be enough to have a stereo. Oh, look at that. We have it. Unbelievable. But okay, stereo function it's working. So I have seen that this LEDs or lamp doesn't work. Two don't work. The MW and LW work. So probably there are broken lamps, as well as the meter and the dial. But I think we are not so in bad shape here. So probably it's worth to connect speakers. Well, to fully understand how it has been designed and what is wrong in this device, I have removed the front panel to have a better view, and clearly we have the broken lamps here, and it seems that has been used a lot in these two functions, which are phono and FM. And we also see the meter. I will remove also the scale. I don't want to damage it. And this will give me better access to the lamp and to move around without any scares or make any damage. This will also allow me to clean and polish the front panel itself, and a better cleaning inside the unit before to connect to the lab speakers. I just want to be sure that anything wrong is inside. So yeah, let's go ahead with the cleaning. Okay, now everything is exposed. The broken lamp of the meter itself, the scale and the dial pointer sliding section, which is pretty dry out. It was lubricated. Here we have some oxidation sign. The stereo bulb. Here I have noted that we have also the power on pilot lamp, which I think use the same bulb of the meter. So we don't have any light over there. Let's see how it became after cleaning. Okay, I'm going ahead with the dismantling. I have removed the light diffuser with the bracket, and yeah, now it's pretty much exposed. I also have removed the lamp holder, which slides into these two slots. So now it's everything visible, and we can see more oxidation signs over there. So yeah, let's go ahead with the cleaning. I have powered up the device here, and the lamps are actually functioning except one, which it's a really special type. As you can see, it's a mirrored dome and sort of smoked glass. So probably would be a good idea to replace all the lamps with LEDs, but you know, this will change a lot the kind of illumination that originally was meant to have. So probably I will try to dismantle this lamp and put inside one 8-volt AC lamp. And these lamps, they must be very simple lamps. 8-volt AC, I think the same. So let's try to make this repair. Well, at this point, since the complexity of dismantle will become quite important, because I want to remove everything from the bottom plate in order to have a good cleaning. The front here is already cleaned and it came up pretty well, and this makes me change my mind and want to completely dismantle and wash it the best I could. But before to do that, I want to test the tuner and see if the power amplifiers are working. So I have connected the speaker to the speaker terminals, the lab speakers, no DC onto the speaker terminal, so we are safe enough to power it up. 3, 2, 1. I have added one lamp just for test, and it's working. Let's both channels are working, so it's okay. Should have a muting. I don't know where it is. Okay, that is. It seems that it works fine. So yeah, now it's well, it's a big relief, and we can go ahead and cleaning. I've been able to remove the bottom plate, and the boards came out as a wall unit. That is good. It will allow me to clean the base here and the board themselves. So this is a nice way to build a device. Well, the condition here requires a more dismantling of this board, so I'm going to remove the dial string. So I'm trying to keep trace how it was routed. Yeah, this expose a bit more, but I want to go deeper as we have a very nasty oxidation signs on the potentiometers. So I want to be sure that everything will be clean and reliable. Okay, the board is free. I have removed all the surrounding metal, and now it's pretty easy to work on, and I've already discovered few weak solder joints. One is over there, and there are others on the board. Not really bad, but it's worth to reflow them. Now the question is about the recapping. There are tens of capacitors in this unit. Mostly are onto the tape deck, but also here we have a lot. Few on the power amplifier and power supply. So the first step will be to check those and see the general condition. If they are not bad, probably I will leave like that, despite they are pretty old. But sometimes these caps can be usable for very long time. On the other hand, if they will measure bad, I will go through and I will replace everything. So let's hope for an easier work. More dismantling. The thermal paste here is almost disappeared, and there was only a touching point. And I think there is something to be checked over here, if there is a flatness or not. The board is quite dirty. I will clean with glass cleaner just to be safe. Okay, I've started the cleaning and the capacitor checking, and I already have found two leaky capacitor. One is a bipolar capacitor, which is in the audio path, and it is very badly leaking. I have replaced it with a foil capacitor, 1 microfarad, and I think I will go ahead with that. Some of the capacitors are very fine, but all the others seems pretty bad. Hopefully I will not need to make a full recap. By the way, it's coming up nicely. Okay, I've got the power supply and power amplifier board recapped, as well as the AM preamplifier board. So very few capacitors were bad. Two of 1 microfarad that were in the signal path that I have replaced it with the film capacitors, and other two of 22 microfarad, which again are around the power amp specs. So yeah, at this point I can go to the FM front end and the tone control and see how bad they are. Well, I have forgot to mount the heat sinks, and as said before, I want to check the flatness, because there is something that is weird. There is a small lip here which prevent the power pack to touch completely onto the heatsink itself, and as you can see, it touches only in the center. I don't think it's correct, and I really don't like it. So I think it would be a good idea to remove those lips and have a flat surface, so the power pack can touch everywhere. I could apply a thicker layer of thermal paste, but I'm not sure that this will be enough. So I'll try first to apply more thermal paste and see how it works. Well, looking with more attention to the heatsink, I have noted that it's bowed. Actually, it's not bowed. There is a different thickness, so it is designed to touch in the center and to the two ends, but to the two sides, but not in this section. So I'm pretty sure that Pioneer engineers, they have calculated this. So I just will apply a thicker layer on the sides, and I will go ahead with that. Well, I've just completed the tone section recapping, as well as the phono input. I've replaced all the signal path capacitors with film capacitors, and audio grade capacitors were not possible to use film capacitor. And these two I left alone, as they are pretty perfect. So, but all the others has been replaced. So let's move on to the rear section over here. I already have seen 2.47 microfarad capacitors, which are to be replaced, as well as the two tantalum. I have found there were few tantalum capacitor over here, very leaky. And then to the FM front end and see if we can finish this recapping. Quite a long time required this task. Well, I've just finished the recapping. Quite a bit of capacitors were slightly leaky, but especially around the FM and AM ICs. They usually tend to make the ranges rise up slowly to the working level. So I just want that the receiver is more prompt. So I have decided to replace all the capacitors around the FM and AM directly connected circuit. All the others are fine. The original that I have left alone are as new. Those that were in the middle way, I have replaced it. So we can now start to clean more in depth, clean the base, and start to reassembly. Starting the reassembly from well-cleaned basement, more shininess, more parts. Well, I went ahead, I have finished the mechanical reassembly. Came up pretty fine. I've lubricated the sliding pointer. The bulbs are replaced. 3 of those, including that one. And we can switch on. If I will plug in, would help. Yeah, pretty shiny. Now the next task is to clean the inside of this meter. It's quite dirty, and there was a very nasty tape, yellow tape that gives a wrong color when it is illuminated. So I will take care of that, and I will go ahead with the reassembly of the dial. The dial and the meter cured are in place. Pretty smooth action, pretty happy. It's coming out very nicely. So let's go ahead with the assembly and see the result. Well, I think we have a problem in the AM receiving, both LW and MW. It's completely dead. There is no, I'm injecting 1 millivolt, 200 kilocycle, nothing, completely dead. So no way to receive here. And if I switch to, let's say, 1 megahertz, let's try that. Nothing. We have some noise, completely dead. It's modulated 30%, so need some troubleshooting here. Well, already I found a problem here in the RF amplification. If I place my signal to the antenna input terminal and I monitor the output, I'm having around 30 millivolt. Whereas if I connect directly here, I'm having almost 60. And that for sure means that we have no amplification. Let's check what's happening here. So first of all, let's check the presence of that 24 volt on pin 14, which is over here. Yes, we have it. And we also have the 20 volt onto the transistor. So let's check onto the base. Let's see what we have here. 8 volt. looks fine to me. So let's check onto the emitter. Yeah, probably has swapped. This is the base and the other one was the emitter. So the transistor seems to work. Well, I think I found the problem. The selection circuit is okay. The diode seems okay. But what I have is when I switch from one range to another, I should have voltage on one side, but not in the other. But I still have 12 volt almost. If I change the range, it swaps and comes 21 on the other side, but again 12 volt, or in this case even 16 volt. So it seems that both input circuit, tuned input circuit, are almost all the time activated and enabled. Indeed, if I measure across the diodes, they appear to be driven, and for sure that is a problem. So the only thing that I think it's causing this is a leaky diode. I can't imagine anything else on this schematic, because the selection, what it does is switch the 24 volt through this dropping resistor or limiting resistor, go to the switch here and select LW or MW. So shouldn't have any positive voltage on the other arm when we don't have any voltage coming in. So it seems that we have a voltage coming in the reverse, possibly through a diode. So let's remove that or those and see if it makes any change. Well, after long troubleshooting, it's happened that nothing's wrong, but the alignment, it has been completely screwed up, and now it's working. I just gives a very coarse alignment, but indeed the selection, it's quite strong now, and it's working. Okay, something here is pretty strange. Now, nothing's wrong electronically. It's a matter of misadjustment, and I'm currently monitoring the output of the preamplifier, and as you can see, I'm having 1 meg output, as I have my signal generator to 1 meg, and it's in MW. And if I switch on to LW, the signal disappear. If I change my frequency setting onto 250 kilohertz, I have the signal back. So this part seems to work now. I got it a very coarse adjustment, and it seems at least that the signal is passing through. But if I listen, that is pretty strange. I'm having audio onto the opposite range. That is perhaps because of the harmonics. Don't know. There is something wrong probably also here. There is a completely misadjusted AM tuner. Well, I want to try to screw up a bit this. Oh, would you look at that? Yeah, sorry, very strong. And yeah, the tuner is completely misadjusted. That's why it's not working. Yeah, it's a matter of alignment. Well, I've redone the input circuit alignment and it works perfectly. It seems that the local oscillator is not working at all, and I'm monitoring the output of it on both ranges right across here. I should have a sort of frequency change. I only have a fixed frequency. I'm changing here the frequency. No change there. If I switch on to the other band, it switches to a different frequency but doesn't move. It's like the tuning condenser is not connected. Changed my checking point onto the base of the transistor, which should be exactly the oscillator over here, and same thing, no frequency change while I'm rotating the condenser, the capacitor, nothing, fixed frequency. There must be a problem with VC5, which should be connected to the local oscillator circuit. VC4 is the one for the antenna and it's working fine. So there must be a problem here or in the diode selections, but I have measured those, they are fine. So there must be something wrong with either the selector or maybe bad connection, bad solder joints. Very sad, as it's down there, so must be disassembled everything perhaps. Well, luckily at Pioneer they were very smart and designed this tuner very service friendly. Just loosen 4 screws and it slide out after the removal of the front panel. Now I'm looking down there, no problem, but here it seems that we have a cracked solder joint, maybe. Not really sure about that, but it seems that it's missing the tuning capacitor. So let's try to reflow it and see if it makes any change. Well, the solder joint doesn't make any change, but then I've noted that we have a short to ground, not exactly that short, but I'm having 13 ohms. So I've removed the solder joint over there to isolate the circuit from the capacitor. The circuit is not shorted to ground. It seems that this capacitor is shorted to ground, and it shouldn't, as shown in this schematic. So should be isolated. There is something wrong in the tuning capacitor. Well, as I'm not seeing other way that removing the capacitor from the board, I've removed the pulley and I'm going to desolder all the very thick solder joints, and it will be quite a challenge, but I want to remove it and check what's happened down there. Well, I have removed the tuning capacitor, and as I have removed it, which by the way has exposed an uncleaned area, the short circuit disappeared, and disappeared also on the capacitor itself. So it seems that there was something wrong down here, some maybe solder joint that was making too big solder joint. Really don't know. There is no sign of error over here, but mechanically it's perfect. No contact between the the blades, or it's pretty well aligned also. So just to clean and reassembly and check again. Well, I was wrong on that. Actually, we have a short circuit on this section. We have 12 ohms almost. All the others are isolated. And this, which is called VC5, actually is the fourth. And that was makes me falling on that. But we have a short circuit here, and it seems to be inside, not easy to reach. Well, I think I have found the problem. There was a very tiny metal hair down here. I don't know if it was think whiskers or something like that, but as I have passed it through this, the short circuit disappeared. So I think with a good cleaning now, we are back on track on AM. I've been able to isolate the hair, and it's a metal hair, and it's this one. Don't know if it's coming out from a brush or not from me, by the way. So that was the total cause of this malfunction. I have carefully washed with alcohol the tuning capacitor, so I'm going to reassembly and test the radio again. I've placed it back in its place, everything, and it's clear now, no more shorts, so we can test it again. We are switch it on, and we surely have a different behavior now, as we clearly have a local oscillator working. So back onto the alignment. Well, I've just finished the tuner alignment. Both LW and W went pretty fine. I then checked the FM performance and was very bad. It was extremely out of alignment, both the RF section and the MPX. Everything is now, and the discriminator as well. Everything is perfectly fine now. The tuner is behaving pretty as expected, so quite happy on that. We have this strange setup without the rear panel. By the way, FM is pretty sensitive, and stereo it's working perfectly fine. As well as the meter, well centered, so everything is working as expected from this tuner. It's not extremely sensitive in the MW and LW, despite the RF amplifier, and this is expected. It was declared also onto the radio specification. Unfortunately, we don't have any stations on those ranges, as we don't have any more broadcast band, so no signal, but with the signal generator is working pretty fine. So I think we reached a very nice point, and we can be happy with the result. I will finish this video right here. as it's already quite long. And in the next one, hopefully I can fix the turntable, for which I have an idea how to do that. And we will take care also of the tape deck, as well as the finishing of the cleaning and the top lid. So hopefully has been an interesting process, and I hope to see you back in the next one. Bye, and thanks for watching.